Hello, I'm back again.
Guess who's back? Back again. Shady's back.
This is my second time filming this video because I spent most of yesterday filming it only to discover that the file was corrupted. So, bear with me, will you? But this is the start of a brand new series on my channel. It seems that I just keep doing those. Oh my god, I'm burning. Sorry, I had to open the AC. It's way too fucking hot in here. Anyway, start of a brand new series on my channel that we're calling Myths and Legends. I'm going to be tackling different mythologies from different places around the world and retelling them the way they were always supposed to be told. Before we begin though, please click that subscribe button, subscribe to my channel, because this is what I do. I like to tell stories and comment on things happening around the world. And if you like that, then subscribe to my channel, click the notification bell, and before you do anything, jump into the comments, let me know, what myth would you like me to tackle and where are you from? And once you've seen the video, jump back into the comments and tell me again what myth you'd like me to tackle and whether I did a good job or not. But that being said, let's get back into our story. And we're starting today with a banger, my dudes. We're starting with the Titanomachy, or as I like to call it, where it all began. So our story begins with Uranus. No, not the planet, the god. In fact, he was the god of the heavens, and he, as most gods do, decided to get married. And who else did he marry but his sister Gaia, the goddess of the earth? Because what's a good story without some spicy incest in there, am I right? The gods were really big on incest. Just ignore it and don't be shocked by it, because it happens a lot. So out of this weird wedding came 3 sets of children. You got the Cyclopses, the Hecatonchires, which were giants with, I shit you not, 100 arms and 50 heads each, and there were 3 of them. Cyclops is obviously giants with 1 eye. And there were the Titans. Now, Uranus is kind of a vain guy, right? So he goes up to Gaia one day and he's like,
"Yo, listen up, Gaia. I know that you love your children, but I think they're ugly. So I'm gonna lock them up in hell."
So that's exactly what he does, right? He takes the Hecatonchires and the Cyclopses, locks them up in Tartarus, which is basically hell. It's Greek hell. Now, I need you to keep the Hecatonchires in mind. They have a role to play. So Gaia obviously is a little frustrated, not to say angry, by what her husband is doing. So she, being the good mother that she is, decides to take action. She's gonna stand up for her rights. She goes up and gathers up the remaining children, the Titans, and tells them the plan. Y'all are gonna kill your dad. Who's gonna help me? The room goes down in crickets. Literally, you could hear crickets until one little voice comes up and it's like,
"Yeah, I'll do it. I'll kill Dad. Why not?"
That little voice is Cronus, the antagonist of our tale. Cronus is quite well known in mythology, but we should keep in mind that this is a telltale sign, right? I mean, what kind of fucking creature is so willing to murder their parent? And not just murder, mind you, because this is how this is supposed to go down. So Gaia gives Cronus. It's 3 a.m. I'm sorry. Gaia gives Cronus a sickle, which is like this knife that like they used to cut wheat. That's like, it kind of looks like a crescent moon, sorry. And she tells him that he is to use the sickle to castrate his father. You heard that properly. He's to use the knife to cut his dad's penis off. I was gonna say peen to keep it family friendly, but then I realized that I'm not a family friendly channel, so yeah, he's gonna use the sickle to cut his dad's junk off.
Oh, hell no!
What a wonderful family we're dealing with. Anyway, Cronus clearly is a little messed up in the head, right? So he's all like, yeah, sure, why not? So they hatch a plan. And the plan goes as follows. Later on that night, As Uranus lays over Gaia, about to get lucky, they gonna do the devil's tango, the good old boom chicka wow wow. Cronus creeps up to him and with one swift swoop, cuts his dad's junk off. Out of the blood that falls, the ash tree nymphs, the giants, and the Erinyes are created. Now, Cronus then, that's not enough for him, so he proceeds to grab his dad's junk and throw it into the ocean. Out of that, Aphrodite comes out. I want you to keep that in mind next time you see Botticelli's The Birth of Venus, right? This, yeah, no, she didn't come out of a fucking seashell. Aphrodite came out of Uranus's chopped off junk that fell into the ocean. You're welcome. So once that all said and done, right, Cronus becomes king. And he, as all good kings needs a wife. So who else is he gonna marry but his sister Rhea? Like I told you, the incest doesn't stop. It keeps going and going and going. It's an overflowing thing. And he also proceeds to release his brothers, the Cyclopses and the Hecatonchires, from Tartarus, only to see them be horrified and then turn around and lock them back up again. Cronus is an asshole, is what I'm trying to get at here. Unfortunately, history is quite cyclical, right? And before he died, Uranus told Cronus that his downfall would come by the hands of his own son. Think of it like an ancient Greek version of karma's a bitch, if you will. So, armed with this knowledge, Cronus becomes quite paranoid. And every time his wife Rhea gives birth, he straight up picks the newborn baby up and swallows it whole. He choms the babies. He eats the children. Let me tell you this again. Cronus eats his own children because he's scared that one of them will overpower him and take his throne. This, in my head, this is how I see the inside of Cronus's stomach being when we're like 5th baby down, right? So the 5th baby will be what? Poseidon? Hello and welcome, baby Poseidon. My name is baby Hades, and welcome to Dad's stomach, your new resting place. We are very happy to have you here. Now, if you look over to the left side, you can see our sisters, baby Hestia, baby Hera, and baby Demeter. And I am baby Hades. It is my job as the youngest currently to give you our introduction. It is your job as the new youngest baby to give this intro to the next baby. So Rhea is obviously furious. I mean, who can blame her, right? Poor woman has given birth like 5 times, and every single fucking time she doesn't even get to hold her child. Cronus just straight up picks the baby and eats it. Honestly, justice for fucking Rhea at this point. So she, quite like her mother, because again remember, history is cyclical and karma is a bitch, concocts a plan. Now she doesn't give any sickles to her children because she doesn't have any left. But next time she's about to give birth, she hides her baby and instead of giving it to Cronus, swaddles up a bunch of rocks and hands it over to him. Cronus picks the rocks up as he is wont to do and eats them. Don't know how he didn't notice that wasn't a child, but nonetheless, he eats them. Can you just imagine poor baby Poseidon just waiting in there like, oh, hello, baby. I am baby Poseidon, and welcome to the inside of our dad's stomach. Oh, if you look over here, you'll see our siblings. Baby Hera, baby Hestia, and wait a second. That's not a baby. That's a pile of rocks. Honestly, poor Poseidon. Guy never got to have his shot at life, you know? He never got to make an impact. Anyway, Cronus, feeling a bit heavy, I would assume, by the pile of rocks he just proceeded to swallow, decides to take a nap. It is during this time that Rhea picks up her newest baby, which she named Zeus, and flees to the island of Crete. She hands Zeus over to a lady goat called Amalthea and tells her to raise him until he is of age. And when this happens, he is to take down his father. Years and years pass. Zeus grows into a handsome young man. He goes on many tales and adventures, and honestly, the tales of his youth are a bit of a look into what Zeus becomes into the mythology, but we'll get into those at some later date, because Lord knows we ain't got time today. Zeus is like a strapping young lad now. He's like wooing the ladies left and right. And one day, Amalthea tells him that Rhea, his mother, has requested for him to go to Cronus, the pantheon, under the guise of a cupbearer and work for Cronus. He is not to tell anyone that he is Cronus's last son, Zeus. And Zeus does just that. Though, before he leaves, Metis, who is an important character in the stories, and we will get into her at some point, just not now, Metis gives him a concoction. A concoction made up of wine and mustard. Delicious. And she tells him to feed it to Cronus so he can get his siblings back. Zeus, good old Zeus, does exactly that. He goes to the palace and gives Cronus the wine mixed with mustards, which Cronus proceeds to, I assume, chug down like an alcoholic would. He proceeds to projectile vomit 5 different sets of children. Oh, by the way, I forgot to mention, but these 5 sets of babies, remember, they were newborns, have somehow managed to grow into full-blown adulthood inside their father's stomach. I don't understand how. You don't understand how. But it's not like I ever claimed Greek mythology was biologically accurate. So don't at me, you know? Anyway, Zeus gathers up his siblings and he's all like, yo, listen up, my dudes. This motherfucker done nommed you guys up. What we're gonna do is revenge. We gonna take revenge on this motherfucker. You hear me? Now who's with me? R-E-V-E-N-G-E, revenge. I don't know why in my head Zeus sounds like a frat boy who's probably done coke or speedball at some point in his life. He just does. And I think that's an accurate description. But based on his rousing speech, his siblings obviously all rally up and decide, yeah, we're gonna take down Dad. And that's exactly what they proceed to do. And this, my dudes, was the beginning of the Titanomachy. The Titanomachy, or the Titanomachy, whichever way you want to pronounce it, is basically a real fancy word for the War of the Titans. So the 6 siblings rallied up their armies. Now, remember, I told you to keep in mind the Cyclopses and the Hecatonchires. And the reason I told you to do that is because Zeus, good old Zeusy, releases them from Tartarus. The Cyclopses, who are apparently geniuses at creating things, create weapons for the siblings. In fact, they only create 3 weapons that are of importance, and they're for the 3 brothers. Because fuck the women, am I right, ladies? These weapons are as follows. Zeus gets his thunderbolt, Poseidon gets his trident, and Hades gets his helm of darkness, which is really just a very pretentious way of saying the hat of invisibility or whatever. It is at this point that I also should mention that not all Titans fought on the side of the Titans. In fact, 2 of them fought for Zeus. These were Prometheus and his sibling Epimetheus. His brother, maybe sister, I don't know, it's not clear. Some sources also say Themis fought on the side of the gods, the smaller ones, but then again, that's not clear. And they all fought the Titans. There was one superstar on the battlefield. His name is Atlas. I'm gonna need you to keep that name in mind because he comes back into our story again at a later point. So once all of these armies are gathered, right, they fight the Titans, and this war lasts for 10 fucking years. 10 years. They're fighting their parents, basically. Until, of course, you know, Zeus wins. Zeus and his army wins, and it is time to mete out the punishments. And this is my favorite part, because it is known through mythology that the gods are petty, but this is when you begin to see the beginning of the pettiness, if you will. So the Titans all get locked up in Tartarus, and just for the sake of irony, right, Zeus enlists the Cyclopses and the Hecatonchires to guard their gates. Zeus, being the petty little bitch that he is, decides that Atlas, remember Atlas? The spicy dude on the battlefield that I told you about, the major superstar, the MVP of the Titans. Yeah, he decides that his punishment is different. He's not gonna go into Tartarus. Oh no, no, no. For being such a good player for the Titans, Homeboy's gonna have to hold up the universe on his shoulders for the rest of times. And this is why maps are called atlases. You're welcome, children. The three brothers, Zeus, Poseidon, and Hades, decides to draw straws to see who's gonna rule over what. Because once again, fuck the ladies, am I right? Zeus, because he's Zeus, draws the largest straw, and it is decided that he will rule over the earth, the heavens, mortals, and the gods alike. Poseidon draws the second longest straw, and it is decided he will rule over the oceans and the seas. Which at this point I think is quite nice, because poor old Poseidon didn't get his chance inside Cronus' stomach to make an impact, so maybe now he will get to make an impact. And Hades, poor old Hades, he draws the shortest straw, in which he is to rule the underworld and over the dead. This is also when Zeus decides to move the Pantheon over from the mountain that the Titans had it on, the name of which I do not remember, onto Mount Olympus. And this is when the Olympians were born. They were birthed that way. Now, you may be wondering, what happened to Prometheus and Epimetheus? I mean, they fought on the side of Zeus. I'm sure he didn't punish them or anything, right? You would be correct. In fact, he gave them one of the most important tasks. Zeus told Prometheus and Epimetheus that since he is to rule over the earth, they should create some creatures to inhabit said earth so he could rule over them. And boy oh boy do they get into some adventures while they do that. But this is a story for another day. And this, my friends, is How Not to Parents 101. I hope you guys enjoyed them, and if you did, let me know in the comments below. Like this video if you liked it, and please subscribe to my channel. I mean, listen man, you've been here, you've gone through this entire video, you might as well just click subscribe. With that being said, follow me on Instagram and follow me on Twitter. It's @rootlesslives and @Farida_Badran. Also follow my Tumblr, it's really fun, I promise. If you want to though, you're not forced to do any of that, but please do follow my Instagram. I run most of my polls on there. It's sort of my largest platform right now. And let me know if there are any other myths you think I should tackle. I am thinking of diving into the creation of the Egyptian pantheon, but I don't know if I'm going to do that. I am Egyptian, so I'm really interested in all that. But with that being said, I'm out, and may the muses be with you.